It's time now for The Splash on Civic Center TV. On this week's episode, West Bloomfield's oldest fire station is closing down as it no longer meets the needs of the community. Then residents reminisce on a popular grocery store within the township that will soon be closing. And later, what was once the epicenter of the West Bloomfield tornado has residents scratching their heads today. The Splash is a production of Civic Center TV. We're a news magazine that covers everything, from local news to feature stories, all so that we can bring you the latest from the greater West Bloomfield area. And now, let's dive into The Splash. Hello and welcome to another episode of The Splash. I'm your host, Jonathan Jackson, and as always, it's good to have you with us. West Bloomfield's very first fire station, named Station Number 3, has served our community for over 60 years, but today is in dire need of an update. For more on this, we turn to Splash reporter Katie Wozniak, who has the story.
West Bloomfield Fire Department continues to protect and serve our community, and Fire Station Number 3 has been the backbone to accomplishing that. Built in 1954 to support the growing population in the area, Station 3 remains the oldest station in West Bloomfield Township.
That station actually is a very important supportive station. It has its primary response district right around it, but it also goes both north and south to support other stations, and it backfills and it helps us to maintain the good response times that we have. So that really is a pivotal location. It's very important.
As the needs of the community has changed, so has the needs of the fire station.
I was first assigned to that building in the spring of 1966, and at that time the fire station consisted of a cement block building, shingled roof, 2 bays for an apparatus room, and there was one large room off the side of it. I say large, it was really not that big.
And when you look at the exterior of the building, you'll see 2 large bay windows on the front, and those 2 bay windows were the original apparatus bays for the fire station. They put an addition on in 1974 that added the 4 bays that you can see now around Fire Station 3.
When the station was changed to a 4-man crew, the deficiencies of Fire Station 3 became more evident, and soon plans to remodel the building took shape.
When you double the number of people living there, you take the facilities, for example, the size of the kitchen. You know, prepping a meal for 2 people in the kitchen, much easier than prepping a meal for 4. Other little things that you'll notice that don't work well about Fire Station 3, that our living area, the living space where you might call your family room at home, we share that with our eating space. So the table and chairs are kind of in a carpeted area, not a real common format for where you're going to eat and drink, so that doesn't work well.
And while the building itself is getting a makeover, the history of Fire Station 3 will remain.
Station 3 is unique to the other stations in West Bloomfield and is located right in a neighborhood. If we're outside the station, whether it's we're taking the garbage out or we're washing the trucks or we're working out outside, it's not uncommon to have the opportunity for somebody to be walking by or driving by or on their bicycle and be able to have a conversation with them. So that's really a cool aspect of being at this location.
I think the thing that I'm looking most forward to with the renovation or the rebuild of Fire Station Number 3 is really, as the fire chief, I work for the firefighters here. And with my expectation of every firefighter, paramedic, and fire officer out there to have a high level of service to the community, it's my job to make sure that those tools, that environment is there for them to be successful. So what I'm looking forward to is for that fresh start here at Fire Station 3, not to turn our back on the past and the history and all the greatness that has come from Fire Station Number 3, but really looking forward to an opportunity for more great stories and service that will flow from this fire station into the surrounding neighborhoods.
For The Splash, I'm Katie Wozniak.
Thank you, Katie. It's good to see our firefighters receiving some better living conditions, and hopefully soon, as the design phase is expected to last throughout the fall, with construction expected to begin in 2017. And to stay updated on the story as it develops, you can go to civiccentertv.com/Fire Station 3. Over at Orchard Mall, big changes are coming to the Kroger grocery store, which is expected to close by the end of the week. Our very own George Moore was out there talking with local shoppers who remember the place rather fondly.
This former Hiller's Grocery, now Kroger, has barely been open a year. but on July 16th, it will be closing its doors for the final time. Rachel Hurst, spokeswoman for Kroger Company of Michigan, said there's no plan to replace this location, adding that the store was not performing to the desired level. Local West Bloomfield resident Ruth Dow says she's going to miss the smaller atmosphere of shopping at this Kroger location.
Some of these Kroger stores are so big, you get lost in them.
So you prefer the smaller size as opposed to the superstore?
Yes, very much so. I know they want to put everything in it, but that isn't really conducive for older people, and I don't think it's a very good idea.
For Shmuel Kosman, the charm of this Kroger will also be missed.
I liked that this location was open. It was quaint. It was a little small, but you run in, you shoot in there, you got your things, and you move out. It was nice having it.
He also used to relish the family-type atmosphere he experienced at this location.
I work for a small high school over here. I'm the purchaser for their food, so I'm here 3 or 4 times a week.
So they got to know you, right?
Yeah, I knew everyone. I mean, not by name, but they all knew me. Every time I walk in, they'd welcome me, and I didn't get that sense in the other Krogers, the bigger one down the street.
Just a reminder, you have until July 16th before this location closes forever. And to some, location was important, but now they'll have to go elsewhere. It's the way things work. That's change itself. For The Splash, I'm George Moore.
Thank you, George. Though there's no official word yet on what will replace the Kroger at Orchard Mall, however, it is more than likely that another grocery store will be taking its place. And to stay updated on this segment, you can visit civiccentertv.com/Kroger Closing. Coming up, we'll have details for you on why the Shell gas station on Maple and Orchard Lake Road has remained unfinished. And later, George Moore has another episode of Sidewalk Talk right after this.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Civic Center TV celebrates our region's natural beauty, proud history, tremendous accomplishments, and more with Another Angle, a series featuring a unique bird's-eye view of our area's landscape. Watch Another Angle on Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
Civic Center TV has gone social. Now it's easier than ever to watch, save, like, and share our videos online. See what's happening in your neighborhood, on the streets, and on the web at civiccentertv.com. Be a part of the conversation and get involved. We would love to hear from you. For links to our social media pages, visit us at our website or find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
The best way to know when shows debut on Civic Center TV is to become a member. It's absolutely free. We'll send you a regular newsletter with all the latest updates. Just go to civiccentertv.com and click the Members tab. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Hello and welcome back to The Splash. I'm your host, Jonathan Jackson. Back in 1976, the Shell gas station on Orchard Lake and Maple Road was ground zero for the infamous West Bloomfield tornado. And today that gas station is back in the news. For more on this, we turn to Splash reporter Larry Nyland.
When the West Bloomfield tornado hit 40 years ago, it was right in the heart of the township at Orchard Lake and Maple Road, which longtime residents remember as the intersection between Bell Tire and the Shell gas station.
First time I drove by there, Bell Tire didn't exist anymore. It was gone. It took Bell Tire right out. And whatever the gas station was next to them, that was gone.
The Shell station was destroyed, and there was a young couple in a car, if I remember correctly, whose car ended up upside down. And I don't think they were killed. I think they were injured.
But if you drive by the station today, it looks as if it was hit by a tornado again. That's because the building is undergoing construction, which has now been postponed due to the developer's disregard of the township's guidelines. This has caused West Bloomfield's own building inspector, Bruce Eck, to step in.
The construction was delayed because we had a permit issued for a remodel, but when the inspectors went out there, we noticed that the whole structure was taken down. and the permit was to remodel the existing structure and to maintain it the way it was, but just remodel the structure. So once that was taken down, there are some other variables that are involved. Like we have to verify that storage tanks are in good condition, that there's no gas leaching into the ground, no oil leaching into the ground, the utilities are shut off, and all those parameters weren't taken care of. So it's on hold until all those things are taken care of.
Although a stop issue motion was delivered, there were some losses in communication between the contractors and the township, which only further delayed the process.
There was a little bit of difficulty there. We tried to make contact, and their response wasn't always forthcoming, but eventually we did make contact with them, and they seem to know what we need as far as our concerns are. So we think we're on the right path now, and they're addressing the concerns at this moment, and as soon as we receive those, then we'll be able to get started with the new construction.
And once things are up and running again, Amy Neary, the site planner for West Bloomfield Township, says that the newly constructed gas station will both look and function better than ever.
A site plan has been approved for that site, and it still is going to be a gas station, but they will be redeveloping it, and it will look a lot better than it looks now and has looked in the past. So they will be incorporating, more quality materials on the building, masonry materials. There will be improved landscaping along the road frontage. So they're going to just be redeveloping the use that was already there.
For now, all residents can do is wait until the day when this site within the township can be rebuilt. For The Splash, I'm Larry Nyland.
Thank you, Larry. And to see more on this developing segment, you can visit civiccentertv.com/Shell Station. We now move on to another of our Splash segments, Sidewalk Talk, where reporter George Moore talks with the people in the greater West Bloomfield community.
George Moore for Sidewalk Talk. People have what they call a bucket list of things they want to do with their life, whether it be adventurous or traveling. And our intention out here today is to find out what's the number one item on your bucket list. Do you have an number one item on your bucket list?
I have a lot of items on my bucket list.
What's the top?
Really to just travel the world. Yeah.
Yes, to take my kids to Yosemite. That would be something we need to get in before they go off on their own.
Create a happy home for children.
All right.
I had a happy home as a child. I'd like to give that back.
I think skydiving. I know that's a pretty popular one, but I'd like to experience it at least once.
Oh, so you like doing the safe stuff, right?
That's how you describe it.
I think I'd like to go to a street luge somewhere.
That'd be so cool.
Wouldn't that be fun? A street luge? Everyone should do a street luge.
Yeah. Okay. Adventurous. I like that.
The number one item on my bucket list. I don't know if I have a number one item. I guess a trip to Costa Rica would be high up there. It's something that my wife and I have been talking about for a while. My wife, Allie, we've been wanting to go to Costa Rica. I'd love to go to Costa Rica.
I would like to visit the island of Nantucket.
Okay.
Absolutely. I've been reading a couple of travel books about it, the history, the whale industry, the beauty. I want to go there.
Ski a place called Powder Country, which is like knee-high deep powder.
Where's that at?
It's in Utah. It's in Powder Mountain.
Skydiving. It's just something that is really interesting. A bunch of my friends have already done it, so I guess it's just almost time for me to go do it. So.
So you finally convinced yourself you want to do this?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Well, just watch the first step.
Okay.
Once again, we feel that you have sufficiently answered the question. So until next time, I'm George Moore. Sidewalk Talk.
Thank you, George. It seems like everyone's bucket list is full of ideas here in West Bloomfield. And if you'd like to hear more fun questions like this one, then you can visit civiccentertv.com/Sidewalk Talk. But it's time now for a Civic Center event update. And to stay up to date on all these following events, you can visit civiccentertv.com/events. So without further ado, let's get started. The West Bloomfield Library continues their popular film discussion series with the movie Good Night and Good Luck, which is a historical drama film on journalist Edward R. Murrow, who looks to bring down corrupt Senator Joseph McCarthy. This discussion will be facilitated by Dr. Tara Hayes from Oak University and will be open to the public from 7 p.m. till 8 p.m. on Monday, July 11th. Take an exciting look at animals from all around the world in this live animal presentation. Topics range from habitats to instincts and will cover all manner of discussion, including truths and myths on the animal kingdom. The event starts on Tuesday, July 12th at 10:30 a.m. in Roosevelt Elementary School, and all ages are welcome. The West Bloomfield Library will be hosting a magician in their building who has traveled all over the world, but is actually based right here in Michigan. His name is Gordon Russ, and he's performed for celebrities, children, and even at local libraries here in the state. So come on out and see his show on Tuesday, July 12th at 7 p.m. and get ready to participate because he loves to bring his guests on stage. Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital is offering up their farm-to-table class to the public, where you can taste and learn about farm-to-table cuisine. Their chef uses fresh produce from Henry's Market on Main, while resident farmer Trevor Johnson discusses what's in season and why locally grown produce is in such high demand. As an added bonus, you can create a special take-home project to enjoy farm-to-table practices with your family. The cost is only $20 per person, and registration is required. However, the event starts at 6:30 on Thursday, July 14th, and goes until 8. Then on July 19th at 10:30, Roosevelt Elementary School will be exploring the fundamentals of moving science, including Newton's 3 laws of motion. Be amazed by all sorts of surprises, including dancing, chemically assisted football tossing, and space-age rocket packs during this interactive event. Also, all ages are welcome on Tuesday the 19th, and no registration is required. Why not head over to the West Bloomfield Library on Friday, July 29th for a Library Learning Day, in which an array of educational activities will be set up for your child's enjoyment and learning. The event is fun for all ages and runs from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m., so you can stop on by anytime. Come bring the family out for a fun morning on Saturday, July 30th at West Bloomfield High School's cafeteria for the Charity Cakes Pancake Breakfast, which supports local nonprofit organizations in the process. The cost is only $10 a person or $5 for children under 4. You can buy your tickets now or pay $12 per person after Friday, July 15th. Also, breakfast will be provided by Katie's Pancakes and includes all-you-can-eat pancakes, turkey sausage, orange juice, and coffee. The event begins at 8 a.m. and ends at noon, so be sure to get there early. Hotworks.org presents the 14th Annual Orchard Lake Fine Art Show, featuring world-renowned and top-notch local artists in the country. The event starts on July 30th and ends on the 31st in West Bloomfield. Admission is only $5, and kids 12 and under are free, so you can come on out and bring your fellow art lovers with you for this award-winning event. Sway to the music of Beethoven's First, a Detroit Symphony Orchestra neighborhood concert held at the Berman Center for Performing Arts. The event starts at 7:30 p.m. on July 21st and will feature conductor Karina Kanalakis and sopranist Jessica Rivera. Tickets are only $25, and you can buy them online or call 313-576-5111. And for the kids, come on out and create electronic music using a variety of analog and digital instruments and apps. A brief lesson will be taught starting at 2:30 p.m. on July 26th at the West Bloomfield Library. And this is a hands-on experience with a variety of instruments. Registration is required, though, and you must be in grades 6 through 12 to participate. Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital has designed a special interactive cooking class for kids to use herbs and improve both taste and health. On August 6th from 10 a.m. to noon, you can learn all about a variety of recipes using herbs and experiment with those combinations. Then visit the greenhouse and experience a planting project of your own. For more information or to register, please call 248-325-3890. Journey back through time with the West Bloomfield Library to the land of the dinosaurs, along with your tour guide, Paleo Joe, who will be there to help explain the language of fossils. The event takes place in West Bloomfield Library's meeting room on August 9th from 2 p.m. to 2:45 p.m. And everyone is welcome. No registration is required. An hour of mind-expanding music from the 1960s awaits you at the West Bloomfield Library on August 11th, starting at 7 p.m. Listen to and discuss some of the most original music and lyrics in music history, resulting from experimentation with different genres, composition, and instrumentation. As Jefferson Airplane instructed, feed your head. Everyone is welcome, and there's no need for registration either. Pleasant Lake Improvement Association History is the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society's open house theme on August 14th from 1 to 4 p.m. Learn about the area's early history all throughout the afternoon, and this event takes place at the Orchard Lake Museum, where there are area artifacts, historic photos, and documents. Also, a 17th century dugout canoe and the Kigo Cinema sign. And for all you Tigers fans, you can buy tickets for an upcoming game on Saturday, August 20th at Keego Harbor City Hall. The cost is only $27.50 for reserved seats in the upper deck, which includes transportation. The bus leaves at 5:30 from Roosevelt School to Comerica Park for the 7:10 game against the Red Sox. If you have any questions, please call 248-225-6173 and ask for Dan Harrington. Hope to see you there, Tigers fans. And that's all for now. But if you're looking to find even more events going on in your neighborhood, then be sure to follow us at civiccentertv.com/events and look up our events calendar. And as always, you can stay tuned right here for more information on everything going on in the greater West Bloomfield area. Time now for a quick break, but afterwards I'll be sitting down with Senate Majority Floor Leader Mike Kowall. Stay tuned.
You are watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Be sure to catch live coverage of Laker sports, up-to-date information on local events, and of course, non-stop music on 89.3 WBLD, the all-new Lakes FM.
I'm Kelly Waterfall for Civic Center TV. All around West Bloomfield, people are saying there's great, if not totally compelling programming on Civic Center TV. What's the best way to know when our newest shows debut? Become a member. It's absolutely free. We'll send you a regular newsletter with all the latest updates. Just go to civiccentertv.com and click the Members tab. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
For years, Civic Center TV has been bringing you live coverage of local municipal meetings. The meetings are now available on demand at civiccentertv.com/meetings or watch the meetings again the following day on Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Hello and welcome back to The Splash. I'm Jonathan Jackson, and my guest on the show this week is Senator Mike Kowall from White Lake. He serves as Michigan's 15th State Senate District, which includes us here in West Bloomfield. So, Senator, I want to thank you for being here today.
It's my pleasure, Jonathan.
Well, so talk to me today a little bit about you. How long have you served in the Senate?
Well, I went into the Senate in 2010, and I'll serve until 2018, and I'll be term limited out at that point in time. Before that, I was in the State House from 99 or 98. I was elected and served till 2002, and did some work around the world. I worked in China for a little bit and worked in Mexico for a while.
Traveling the world.
Oaxaca, Mexico, interesting place. And from there, I ended up coming back and being supervisor in White Lake, and ran for the Senate after that. So been around.
Yeah, and you're from White Lake too, so that's
right.
That's
well, it made it easier. But we were doing a lot of traveling, and before that, I spent 38 years in the family construction business. So this is not first career choices, actually.
But you have a very deep history here in Michigan. You've grown up in Detroit. You've been around all the state, and not just in White Lake, but like I said, Detroit and other areas. What would you say you love best about, Michigan here as a state?
Well, what I love best about is the lakes here in our area, West Bloomfield, Bloomfield, and White Lake, and Highland, and Milford, and all this. To me, this is the best kept secret in the world, and fortunately, people are beginning to realize that, but that's just makes it more crowded. But for people that have been out here a long time, there's some changes that take place. But I think they're all for the better.
Yeah, exactly. Now, let's talk a little bit about legislation. You are in the Senate. This has been a hard month, I think, for our nation. We've had multiple civilian shootings and even law enforcement shootings in Dallas. And you are working hard to make sure that sort of situation doesn't happen here in Michigan. Can you tell me a bit about what you're doing?
We're trying. We've had shootings, individual police officers. We lost one here in West Bloomfield Patrick O'Rourke. And we know how devastating that is, not only to the family, but to the community. And it's not just the community of West Bloomfield, it's all the surrounding communities. Because all of us that have been involved in law enforcement to some degree, there's a brother-sisterhood there, whether it's police, fire, rescue. You're the first ones on the scene when something devastating happens. And we want to make sure they're protected and they have all the tools they need. And right now, with the friction and the high stress level, we're reminding people, let's have a little bit of patience. Let's be respectful for each other. both the police and the communities as well. And we want to make sure that that everybody's safe and everyone goes home at the end of the day and is there to take care of their families.
No, we were talking earlier about that system of respect, from, not just civilians but also officers as well. That mutual respect can help, mend a lot of bridges. And, that's just something we need to be, aware of that at all times.
Well, like you were saying, your mom taught you that when you were younger, and my mom and dad taught me that, and they were there to remind me when I didn't, and it was swift and sure punishment for that if I wasn't respectful.
Exactly.
And now my children are teaching it to their kids, and my grandkids are growing up with that same mindset. But we just need to do that as a community as a whole, and just to be patient. Being in law enforcement, and especially today, is an extremely difficult job.
Yeah.
With all the new rules, regulations, all the different groups that we work with.
Exactly.
I mean, we're right here in West Bloomfield. We're a melting pot.
Yes,
There's every ethnic group you can imagine, and you don't have to go far. Just drive down Orchard Lake Road and look at all the restaurants. You know that everybody's here, and it's a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
And we just need to be cognizant of the fact that we're all a little bit different, but yet we're all Americans, and we're all here to, take advantage of what's here, constitutionally for us. So I'm just out there encouraging that.
All right. Well, we appreciate that, and we appreciate you for stopping by and telling me about that. This is
my pleasure.
Well, actually, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more, have a little more conversation with you. Can you stick around for a while?
Oh, I'd be happy to.
All right. So everyone, if you could stay tuned. We're going to wrap up this segment, but if you go online, you can catch more of my interview with Senator Kowall on our YouTube page or on our website at thesplash.tv. My thanks again to Senator Kowall for joining me, and thanks again.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well, it's time now for a segment we like to call The Biz, which highlights businesses within the greater West Bloomfield area. And this week's Biz is on local juice bar, Naked Fuel, located on Orchard Lake Road.
Maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be tough, but a lot of it depends on what you eat and what you drink. I'm Brooke Allen for Civic Center TV, and in this edition of The Biz, we're at West Bloomfield's Naked Fuel, where we'll learn about naturopathic qualities of various foods that can really help you out.
One can heal themselves naturally by knowing exactly what they are putting into their body and knowing what their food intolerance is. So with the right herbs, spices, fruits and vegetables, and knowing the knowledge and the benefits behind them, you can truly heal yourself.
Healing yourself naturally isn't the quick fix that Western doctors provide, but rather you're healing the disease, not the symptoms. And to start, there are a few foods you should really avoid.
Things that you should definitely stay away from is sugar. Sugar is the #1 cause of any disease. Sugar is hidden in all of our labels today. People don't even recognize what sugar truly is and read on a label, and it's truly unfortunate. I even let people know that fruits have natural sugar in them, so you don't want to overindulge in fruits. With any sort of disease, the first thing, if anybody unfortunately has cancer, they recommend staying away from sugar because it creates inflammation in the body and feeds any sort of disease.
Natasha also gives us some examples of foods that are healthiest for our bodies.
E3 is blue-green algae. It is like the first food that was ever found in the world. It's from the bottom of the lake. And that is a whole chain of amino acids and proteins. And it's actually known as brain food. So it helps you function and think clearly daily. It gives you natural energy. People treat their patients with like dementia or Alzheimer's. So if that does run in your family, it's great as like preventative medicine. And also we do something called bone broth soup. The cartilage in the tendons from the bones releases like glycine, which is incredible for anybody that has any digestive issues, skin disorders, inflammation disorders, anybody that has any joint aches or pains. And I have clients that come in all the time. They're sick one day, and I'll just tell them, drink like a quart of bone broth soup and take a Terminator shot, and they will call me and be like, this is amazing, this is incredible stuff. And I use it myself, so I swear by it.
Using natural methods of treatment focuses on the root cause of a disease as well as improving overall health.
Because I truly believe if people are aware of what they are putting in their body and they have the availability to, they will make smarter and healthier lifestyle choices and eating choices.
As always, if you eat healthy, you stay healthy. And Naked Fuel helps you do just that. I'm Brooke Allen for Civic Center TV, and that's your biz.
Thanks, Brooke. And if you'd like to see even more episodes of The Biz, then you can check out civiccentertv.com/thebiz. We now turn to our other segment here on The Splash, our Person of the Week, where we acknowledge an individual within the community who is either helping or inspiring others. And this week's recipient is Byron Cancelmo, a professional singer from West Bloomfield. Byron Cancelmo is an extraordinary singer and entertainer whose voice guides listeners on a journey to yesteryear. From an early age, Byron was drawn to the sound of his mother's voice while driving in the car, and as a result was inspired to sing himself. Byron says he drew inspiration from powerful stage acts featuring powerful and strong voices such as Kiss and Led Zeppelin, but he also felt a fondness for artists like Barbra Streisand and Patti LaBelle with their tremendous and beautiful voices. Recently, Byron was honored to compete in Local 4's Super Singer competition, where he wowed the crowd at the Ford Fireworks as one of the top 4 finalists. As local to West Bloomfield, he loves getting involved in the community, as well as performing alongside his wife at benefits and charitable events. He also enjoys working with the nearby schools, engaging with students, and introducing them to the professional side of musical performance. Seeing as he's always eager to share his voice with others, we decided to share our award of Person of the Week with him. If you or someone you know is providing a service to their community, then let us know by sending an email to The Splash at civiccentertv.com. We want to congratulate those who are making a difference in our area, and we appreciate any and all suggestions. Unfortunately, though, that's all the time we have for today. But as always, you can catch new episodes of The Splash every Monday at 6:30 and throughout the week for replays. And you can also look up previous episodes online at civiccentertv.com or follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook under Civic Center TV for more information. For all our friends in Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, Kego Harbor, and of course, West Bloomfield, I'm Jonathan Jackson, and we want to thank you for watching.